Hi, I'm Richard Harris and I'm going to show you how to make my festive butternut squash nut roast. Okay, so I'm going to start off by chopping some butternut squash. We just need to take off the top and then we just want to peel down with a knife. Okay, so we want to chop this butternut squash into nice even sized chunks. And these are going to go straight into a roasting tin with a whole bulb of garlic. So as well as adding some nice flavour and texture, the butternut squash is going to give us a really nice, deep, rich orange colour as well. So the bottom of the butternut squash is where all the seeds lie, and we want to scoop these out and remove these. So just use a spoon to dig out the seeds and all the fibres in the middle. Okay, so now we've prepared our butternut squash, we just need to give it a good glug of olive oil, a nice grind of pepper, and a pinch of sea salt. Okay, so that's going to go into an oven at about 200 degrees for around about 30 minutes. So our butternut squash is now completely cooked and soft all the way through. If you just take a sharp knife, it should slide in nice and easily. So as you can see, the garlic is really, really nice and soft, and that's going to be really sweet and delicious. I'm using a mixture of cashew nuts and macadamia nuts. Now we want to pulse the nuts, but not blitz them too hard. If you blitz them too hard, what will happen is they'll turn to a paste, the oils from the nuts will be released, and you'll end up with a really stodgy nut roast, which is not what we're looking for. We're going to tip our chopped nuts into a large mixing bowl, and now we can start to add our other ingredients. We've got 75 grams of finely grated vegetarian Parmesan cheese. So to that I'm going to add 100 grams of dry breadcrumbs and then just give it a little stir together. So to that we're going to add 200 grams of cooked chestnuts. And we just want to kind of roughly crumble these in. They don't need to be too fine because we want a nice bit of texture in there. So to that we're going to add some freshly grated nutmeg. It's a really lovely festive flavour and goes brilliantly with the butternut squash. It's a classic combination. So next, in with our roasted garlic. So what we're going to do is just squeeze the whole bulb and we'll see this lovely paste start to come out. Next, we want to add our butternut squash. We need to give this a really good squish together now, just to kind of really press together all those flavours and mix everything thoroughly. So time to get your hands in. Just make sure you really squish everything together hard to make sure all the ingredients mix together nicely and that garlic is really evenly distributed. Okay, so lastly we just need to add a whole egg. So take a fork and just stir the whole mixture together just to work that egg into the whole mixture. Add a good grind of pepper and just a little pinch of salt. Remember, we've got all of that cheese in there, which is naturally quite salty, so you don't need to add too much extra. So I've lightly oiled a 900 gram loaf tin, and we're just going to pack the mixture straight into there. Smooth the mixture down so it fits neatly into the tin, but don't press down too hard, otherwise you'll end up with a really dense nut loaf. Once that's all smoothed down, we're going to cover the top with foil and bake it at 180 degrees for about 30 minutes. So that's been cooking for about 30 minutes. I'm just going to remove the foil and then bake it for about another 15 minutes just to brown up the top nicely. So there's our lovely butternut squash nut roast, nice and golden on top. We need to leave that to cool in the tin for around about 5 or 10 minutes. Just so it's cool enough to handle, and then we'll turn it out and serve it. And that is how to make my delicious butternut squash nut roast.